Hello everyone. Today we're going to look into the poem The Village Schoolmaster, written by Oliver Goldsmith, an Irish playwright, a poet. This particular poem has been taken from a collection of poems called A Deserted Village. Uh, the name of the village, imaginary village, is Auburn, and the real Irish village is Lissoy. And his real schoolmaster name is Thomas Paddy Byron, and the rhyme scheme is a pentameter couplet. And the imagined village, which is deserted by the people and migrated, displaced to the city life for their livelihood after the Industrial Revolution took place in England, especially English countries. There was a lot of land in the 18th century, either owned in common or not owned by anybody. Gradually, lots of it taken into private ownership and fenced off once the Land Reformation Act started, and poor people could not hold any livelihood there. They lost their livelihood in the villages and they were displaced to city life for their livelihood. And that is the background in which this particular poem has been written. And this is a portrait of a teacher. The poem speaks about uh, the description of the teacher and his qualities. The poet Oliver Goldsmith idealizes through the lens of time and memory. He recollects his own schoolmaster and the school condition, the environment of this, where the school is situated, where you can, it is evident in the line, especially the last line in the poem, which says, as the passage of a time, people forget the teacher who worked, who taught in the school, who mingled with the villagers. So it was lively and active, whereas now in the past, the village and the school was lively and active, whereas now nobody lives there as a result of Industrial Revolution and as a result of the Land Reformation Act came into existence. The changes in the land ownership coupled with the new job opportunities in mission production that caused people to move from country to the cities, leaving many villages without people as a deserted village. Poet represents the past as the kind of a golden age. Why? It was a better, kinder, and a happier time certainly in the past. This particular poem expresses admiration for the village teacher. And the poet Goldsmith also lists his personal qualities and gives a detailed picture of the masters. But above all, he shows how the schoolmaster belonged in his place, having the affection and the love and the care for the whole community in the village. The setting of the poem, the site of the school and the dilapidated fence straggling, that is the opening line of the poem, because nobody maintains there. And the whole environment, the school environment is abundant, no, filled with a green bush. And it is also described by the poet as a noisy mansion, ironically, the building where the children, if it is a school, usually there is a noise. This is the poem. Beside yon straggling fence that skirts the way, with blossomed foes unprofitable gain, the grass, the green grass which is filled with. And there in his noisy mansion, there is a person who is trained, well experienced to rule. The village schoolmaster taught his little school. A man who is portrayed as a severe, stern, a disciplined person, a stern to view, a very strict person. And the poet knew him very well, and every truant knew the person who is absent is also knew without a person who takes a leave without a proper permission. Well had the boarding tremblers learned to trace the day's disaster in his morning face. By looking at the facial expression, the mood of the teacher can be presumed by the children in the school on that particular day. And Full well they laughed with a counterfeited glee. It may be a joke or may not be a joke. They pretended to be a joke, but they have to laugh at all his jokes that he cracks in the school. Full well the busy whisper circling round conveyed the dismal tidings when he frowned. Yet, on the same time, the teacher was kind. If he is severe in anything, the love he bore to learning was his fault. If you find fault with him, if anybody wants to find a fault with him, the one fault it could be is love that he bore for learning. Nothing else you can find a fault with his teacher. The village all declared how much he knew, the intelligence, the information that he possessed. It was certain that he could write cipher, like literacy level. 2. The lands he can measure, tones and tides presage. And even the story ran that he could gawk, calculate. In arguing too, the parson owned his skills. The villagers owned his skill, especially in argument and debate. For he, no, while words of learned length, thundering sound, amazed the gazing rustic ranged around. And still they gazed and still they wondered grew. That one small head, that is the wondering for the villagers. How come as one small head could carry all the information? But past is all is famous. He was only famous in the past. But look at that, coming to the present, the very spot which refers to the village, the village school, where many a time he triumphed is forgotten. Now the same place where he fought, where he succeeded is forgotten. And that is why it is a time and a memory which is bound in this particular poem. A teacher who is outwardly a strict person, right? And the children learn to respond to his mood by looking at the facial expression. At the same time, he is really a kind-hearted person. Among his achievements, literacy or numeracy, he could measure distance on charts, calculate the dates, and forecast the tides. Look at that. He's not only a teacher who can teach you good things, he's also a skilled person, versatile. People believe that he can gog, survey the land, estimate the area. But we do not know if the belief is justified in the poem. Most impressive, the village parson recognized his ability to argue. With that, we'll conclude the poem. Thank you.